Today another Paladin will get painted and ready for the table. Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. So Owen is primed with a metallic aluminum Krylon Fusion primer, which is not a typical hobby metallic paint, but it's the only one I have at the moment. Because we're going to be using some inks and stuff like that on top of the metallic, since most of this guy had armor. So this made it just easier to paint. We're starting off with yellow, which is a game ink from Vallejo. And it's a little too bright for me, but I will fix this all up. Sometimes you got to start with a layer, and you're always testing, right? When you're painting, you're learning stuff as you go along. Next, we're moving on to Militarum Green. This is a contrast by Citadel Colors. We're going to be putting this on the handles of his swords and a big shield on his back. He had like this green hint to that metal parts, so I decided to do that instead. As you can see, the shine still comes through with the metallic, so that's pretty cool. And I like the fact that contrast and shades and inks and all that don't dull it down. Next thing we're doing is a little bit of dry brush of Hexos Pale Sun. This is a dry paint, just to get the edges a bit of the yellow armor. And now we're going to be doing his tunic and his robes with some chaotic red from the Army Painter. Again, this is a paint that you're going to really want to shake up, otherwise you won't get the coverage you need, or you're going to have to put many layers on. So just keep an eye out on that when using this paint. So like I said, it's for his robes and his tunic on top. Pretty much the rest of the miniature, actually. So it's a pretty simple paint job on this guy. Next, we're moving on to Opal Skin. This is a skin tone from Army Painter. This is going to be for his face and his hands. He had very pale skin in the artwork, so this is going to cover it perfectly. And as you can see, you don't see the metallic through it. It's not like the metallic paint comes through. Once you cover it up with a nice regular acrylic paint, it covers up. It doesn't show through. Whenever you want it to show through, you're going to want to use stuff that's more watered down, like an ink or a contrast or a speed paint or an instinct color or whatever you might use. Oak Brown now from Army Painter. This is going to be for his hair. And also we're going to be using this, no, I think it's only for his hair. Actually, we're doing this part. Then we're going to use some rigid leather, actually, and this was going to be for the straps, belts. Now, on the Chaotic Red, you don't see it very well, so if you want to use a lighter brown to really make that difference, go right ahead. I mean, it's your choice. I'm just showing you how I painted it. I mean, I'm not telling you how to paint this guy. I'm showing you how I painted it, right? And, yeah, so we're also going to do his bedroll that he has underneath his sheet with this color, his sheet, under his shield, with the same color here. Alright, Kazandora Yellow. This is a shade. Now we're going to be putting this back on top of that armor because it's going to create a shade, number one, because the game inks don't always necessarily give you the contrast you want. So I'm using a shade here just to get into the nooks and crannies of that armor and give it more of a shine again. We're using some Nuln oil right now. This is going to be pretty much for the entirety of the miniature except for where we put that game ink. We're going to give it a little bit more. This gives a little bit more depth to your miniature and also gets into the crevices and all that to give the light and shadow effect. So of course you're going to want to use this on the miniature. Anyways, there you go, folks. Owen is painted, ready for the table, ready to fight some monsters in massive darkness too. I hope you enjoy. Hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you all in the next one.